Hey guys, MC Mura here, and today we're making a Manon matchup list. If you don't know what a matchup list is, I'm gonna go over each of the characters in this game if you're fighting them as a Manon. Which characters do Manon have a good time against or able to beat? She wins the matchup, and which characters she loses to, right? And this is something I've been wanting to make for a while, but obviously the season is just about to end, so I figured now is as good of time as any. So let's not stand at OBS. Now we got the tier list maker, and as you can see here at the top is Manon. Obviously, send help. This is the worst matchups for her, matchups that are really bad. Slight disadvantage, matchups that she loses. Even, obviously self-explanatory, it's pretty even, or matchups that she's okay in, or I do think are winning matchups for this character, right? And I want to start with something pretty positive. Let's start with Marisa. And I'm gonna put Marisa in even. Marisa's between even and it's pretty alright. Let's actually bring in Marisa here in training mode, because this matchup, I think Manon is able to handle Marisa in the neutral fairly well. For example, what are some of the favorite options for Marisa players? Gladius, right? And Gladius, Manon from very far ranges are able to like wave punish, right? On the ground in general, she handles her really well, and you got this. OD spin is like an amazing card for Manon. This is like, I activate my trap card. This move is insane in this matchup, right? What other moves do Marisa love doing, right? Superman Bunshu. She Superman punches, the EX spin takes care of that. And if I jab her, I get a free medal, so that is really good as well. What are some of the other strategies they love using? Maybe medium punch into charged Gladius, right? Marisa players love doing that, and check this out. OD spin works as well. Even if she did like the Superman punch, that still takes care of it, right? What else? Even just charge draw Gladius in the neutral, you can just OD spin. This move is fantastic in this matchup, so that is good. Marisa also is a character that somewhat struggles with her anti-airs, right? Let's just stop her from doing the recording. Manon got a fantastic jumping heavy kick. This one is really good against her, so that is good. What else is Marisa known for? She struggles on wake up, because Marisa's wake up options are gonna be like Gladius or let's actually set it up, right? So Marisa's wake up option are gonna be the OD Gladius or just Gladius in general for armor, or she can go for the parry stance, right? The good thing about this for Manon is that, say I knock her down and I go for like a command grab loop, it's really good against them, right? Because I'm just gonna throw her, right? So she's one of these characters that gotta respect you, right? And if she's waking up with like a regular Gladius, for example, because a lot of Marisa players like doing that. See, this will counter hit her, and now you got advantage, and now you get a knockdown. Marisa don't have an invincible reversal on wake up, so this means that after the hit grab, you can go for like the crouching medium punch, and it's counter hit her, you get Oki. So what I'm trying to say is Manon got really good options, right? Unfortunately, you're still fighting Marisa, which means that you die in 2 hits. So it's a pretty good matchup for her, although like I said, the volatility of Marisa makes this matchup somewhat tricky. Just want to make sure that it's recording. Yes, recording. The volatility of Marisa makes it somewhat tricky. Who else? Let's talk about Dulcim, I guess. And I don't think Dulcim is between even and slight disadvantage. I see a lot of Manon players really hate Dulcim and think that this matchup is awful, but I honestly don't think it is that bad. I don't think it's that bad for a number of reasons. Let's pick Dulcim again so we can start showing you. Dulcim in this game is a character that obviously alternate between close rushdown and good range. Dulcim, one of his main options is like this heavy punch, strong keep away tool, but Manon got a pretty ridiculous like wave punish. If you wave punish with a slide, And this is the same as a sweep, by the way. Both of them are like 11 flame startup. So like if I whiff punish him from anywhere on the screen, he gets a knockdown, I get a knockdown, hard knockdown, I get in, I got plus frames, or I can simply drag him to me. So that is kind of funny, right? What else do Dulcims like to do? Well, they like to do the fireball, right? If he charges the fireball at all, right, his fireball is one of the ones in this game that you can spin, right? So even like from relatively good distance, like maybe like the round star distance, this is spinnable, and more than OD spinnable. So that is good, right? That is good. He can go for the arc, and this one is pretty annoying. I mean, this is annoying for the entire roster, obviously. But one thing you can do as Manon is medium kick ballerina, right? It works from further than it would seem, right? So like from about 80% of the screen, if he's going for that, you can react with medium ballerina and you're getting a punish on him, you're getting a knockdown. So I think that is also fairly good, right? He also may do like, what is a teleport? Right? If he goes for like a teleport, you jab him, he's an airborne state, so this is like a free juggle, and you just like it's a free middle level for you pretty much. So that is pretty good. So you do have some counter options against Dulcim. That's why I'm saying like it's not that bad for Manon. It's obviously difficult because again this is a character that's gonna try to zone you, and he can be annoying and start going for like the float. And float can be hard to deal with. One thing I like to do is maybe like go for medium ballerina. It's not so bad against it, because if he does float into heavy bunch and he hits me out of it, I will be in like an airborne state. So I mean, it's not super easy, but I do think she have answers, right? So that's why I think it's an even matchup. And his offense as well, like he's one of the characters that you can absolutely rush down on offense. So for that, I think it's all right, right? Slight disadvantage. Let's use JP, right? And before JP had OD Amnesia nerfed, I thought this matchup was pretty rough. But I do think that Manon fights him well. I think she got the buttons to contest with him in the neutral. Obviously, his heavy punch was always tremendous, but sweep is a fantastic wave punish against that, as you can see, right? A lot of JPs love doing like heavy punch into shadows, but you do have answers to that. Right? This is a punish counter if you got a hard read, because this is not strings that you can drive impact, by the way, right? A drive impact will not work there. Like he's able to see this wasn't a punish counter. Let's actually make him block after that. Right? See, he's able to block, so he's able to DI you back, right? But the spin is actually pretty good here. You get a punish counter on him and you get a medal, so that actually is pretty good. If you got the read, you can do it. And if he's going for like mid-range shadows as well, something like this, and you also got the read on that, you absolutely can actually punish it, right? So you can get like regular spin kick. That can work. That can work depending on the distance, and then you're getting like a medal and you're getting power up. Obviously, the difficulty with JP comes with just his zoning. It's a matchup where you've got to be patient, right? But I do think like his best buttons, this one as well, is pretty good. But your own crouching medium punch and standing medium is a good punish to it, right? Standing medium punch works. Heavy punch works as well against it, like depending on the range. I mean, you can get it. And before the patch, when OD Amnesia would do like absurd damage, I thought it was really difficult. Now it's a little bit better. No, obviously not perfect, and he's one of these characters who you can like drive rush press against. So I think it's slight disadvantage. As obviously he remains JP, right? With all that being considered, his zoning, and if the JP just sets this up, this is still very difficult to get around, right? So this instantly makes a matchup in his favor. So Yeah, I mean you do have options, but it's kinda hard, right? Yeah, I think it's kinda hard, but it's not awful. Like JP was always one of the top tier characters that I would rather fight than some of the others, right? So it's alright. It's alright. Which else? Let's actually be optimistic. Deejay also I think is an even matchup. Deejay is an even matchup because he is a character that I do think Marisa or Manon can hang around in the neutral fairly well. The only thing I really gotta worry about with Deejay is obviously drive rush, right? I mean that's the entire game, right? But he does have standing light kick, which is a pretty it's a fairly good check actually. Right, this is a fairly good check against him, so that's not too bad. One thing also about Deejay is that he's a character who got like a charged fireball, but his charged fireball don't have a charged fireball frame data, meaning you can actually spin it. Right, I actually got this move. This move exists in my arsenal against him. This alone makes this matchup kind of tolerable. Obviously, you gotta rely on EX spin. EX spin is a good one. Trying to like regular spin into like kick whatever, this is not gonna work against him. But you can OD spin, which is more than what you can do against some of the other charged characters with fireballs. So that is good, right? What else? He loves doing this knee, but this knee is pretty easy for Manon to anti-air because she got like a crouching heavy punch anti-air, and you can do it like fairly late. And one thing that's really cool about this is if you happen to anti-air him like that, I actually do get like a safe jump here. You can safe jump, and if he does like the OD jackknife maximum, you'll be able to land and block. So that's fairly good, right? That's fairly good against him. So all in all, I think Deejay is an okay matchup. But the one thing that makes this matchup really hard, obviously, is his damage output, right? Deejay's damage output, he hits like a truck. So I think it's kind of like the same as Marisa, where if these two characters didn't have absurd damage, I think Manon wins a neutral against them. But is there damage output and the extremity of it that makes it kinda hard for Manon? So let's move to some abysmal matchups. Since we're on the topic of Guile and charge fireballs, or charge fireball or Guile, Guile is really hard. Surprise, surprise, you're using a grappler and Guile is hard, but oh my god, there is so much like specifics to Guile as well that makes this matchup really bad. For example, spin might as well not exist, right? Check this out. He's gonna do a combo, like a heavy punch into light boom, right? And if I block this one from Guile, he like even like let's reset the distance so that it's right. He's plus, right? He's plus there. He can just use this to push me, and we know Manon got amazing normal, but Guile got insane normals, right? So check this out. My move didn't even begin to have invincibility. Even like a reversal spin, even if you like reversal spin, you still don't get a punish on him. Even if you reversal timing it, you're still not getting a punish on Guile. That is crazy. That is crazy, right? That is absolutely crazy. That is wild. That is what makes this matchup really hard. Now, there are some fun caveats, like say for example, he decides to set up a blade, right? I mean, you can use your YOLO slide, and from some ranges, this can punish him, bull him to you like that, but that's a situation that's never gonna come up. You're just better off using your sweep. So I guess, but why would Guile ever do that against you? So the spin, it doesn't exist against him. It's completely unusable, right? But there's also other issues with this matchup. One of the strategies that you can absolutely use as Manon, right, is I'm gonna medium punch, and then I'm gonna drive rush, and I can use this to like set up mix-ups, right? For example, let's say for example that Guile is gonna block, and he's gonna try to mash his jab, right? If I do medium punch, drive rush into light command grab, see, this counter hit him. He tried to jab. right? But this is a frame trap, this is a tech throw, this will beat his reversal jab, right? And obviously I can go for like a true block string with a crouching medium punch. There is a number of options that you can do, right? Now, because of this, a common strategy that most players will do is an OD somersault, right? And an OD somersault, well, this will outright beat my my command grab attempt, and I can't block here, right? This is a punish. There is nothing I can do about it. One thing that you can do as the Manon, if you know that the opponent is gonna reversal, one thing you can do is drive rush and then drive impact. See this? But take a look at this. Manon was +1. Now, to put this into context, let's pick, for example, a character. Let's pick Luke, right? Everyone's saying Luke is the best character in the game, right? I'm gonna make Luke try to go for his uppercut, right? So Luke here is gonna block reversal, and then he's gonna do his OD rising upper. Obviously, if he does the crouching jab, like we showed you, frame traps, this will grab him. If Luke goes for the rising upper, I can't block, right? But I can drive impact. And check this out, Luke was -9, which means that I actually get, Luke was -9, so I actually do get a punish on him. I get a punish counter. Let's set this out with Ryu, right? Another one of the characters with standard DP, right? Exactly the same scenario. He's gonna block, and he's gonna try to go for an OD Shoryuken. Right? -11, so you can get a punish on him. Right? It's a hard call out against the reversal, but it's something that it's an option. It's an option that you as the Manon should represent. Unfortunately, against Guile, as you have just seen, this does not work. Right? So one of your main pressure tool as Manon can get completely shut down by Guile. Instead, what you need to do against Guile is go for medium punch into crouching medium punch. This is a true block string. This is a true block string, by the way. Like, there's nothing he can do here, but obviously if you're going for that, this means that then you're gonna be like +3, and you have to realize that the Guile didn't try to flash kick, and then maybe like you would go for a button, or you go for like whatever, right? It pretty much like dumps down your mix-up potential, right? Another thing about Guile that is pretty annoying is the OK after the head grab. So after the head grab, if the opponent say does a wake up jab, let's actually save state. Right? If he does a wake up jab, it was on. Right? Is he gonna wake up jab? Yeah. So after a hit grab, you can drive rush crouching medium punch, and this, as you can see, this is a counter hit, right? So like you can get some cool follow-ups here. That's pretty fine, right? Now the thing is, this is a drive rush that you can't block, right? This is a drive rush where I can't block. I can't miss jab. I can't like jab to stop my acceleration. There is nothing I can do here that will make me able to block this somersault. Pretty much. And because of the range of it, you can't like stop short as well and bait it. There is no baiting here. You can't bait Guile out of this. And because he's a character who got charge reversal, makes it very easy for him. And obviously, what makes it really, really difficult is the boom, then drive rush. So on offense, it's really hard. On the neutral, it's really hard. And even if you're trying to apply your mix-ups to him, a lot of it doesn't really work against him. So Guile is it's kind of rough. It's kind of rough. Now let's talk about some winning matchups, because I don't want this to be all like doom and gloom. Kimberly, I do think Kimberly is one of the matchups where Manon actually does really, really well in, and that is for a number of reasons. So let's pick Kim here. If you're thinking about Kimberly, one of the things that is gonna come first to your mind is that she's a character where her neutral isn't very good. Like, she got the standing medium kick, and she got the heavy punch, and that's mostly it, right? And she got a number of approach options. She got like the teleport, and she got the jump and the jump elbow, right? This is basically Kimberly, right? But the good thing is Manon can almost shut all of this down. If we're talking about the jump, for example, this is her regular jumping heavy kick, right? And I'm gonna do another recording of her doing like the jumping elbow, right? And the idea is I'm gonna turn both of them on, and let's say that she's gonna try to bait me. Manon does have a fantastic anti-air that cover both of these options. If I go for the slide, as you can see here, she did the elbow. If she does the regular anti-air, this deals with everything. This move is so active and so good as an anti-air for like this very specific scenario that it like completely almost shut down Kimberly's air approach, right? So that is great. Another one of the main ways that Kimberly can approach you is obviously the teleport. She can go for like the regular grounded teleport, and let's make her do the OD version, right? Second recording, right? And do the OD version. Again, I'm gonna turn both of them on. If she's doing it, I'm just gonna crouching heavy punch, and this works against both of them, right? This is the grounded, this is the air. I see her vanish, I crouching heavy punch, right? And because the teleport does have some recovery, you're getting the punish counter regardless. So many of her approach options you can simply stuff, right? And she does have the standing medium kick, which is a really good poke, but you as Manon got crouching medium punch, which had good disjoint. First of all, you got standing medium punch, which moves you forward, so that is good against her. It's a good wave punish, and crouching medium punch is a good wave punish against this move as well. Oh my god. Alright, let's just standing medium punch, dude. Let's just standing medium punch it. And obviously one of the things about this character, one of the things about Kimberly is that she is a character that is relatively low damage, right? So she needs to hit you multiple times, and for you Manon, this means that you could be more willing to take risks against her, so that's good. So you beat her in the neutral and you can shut down a lot of her approach options, and you do a little bit more damage, I think, or your damage output. Both of them aren't great, so I think this is a matchup that I would consider like a winning matchup for Manon. Right? Blanka. So initially when the game first came out, everyone said that Manon beats Blanka. So the idea with Blanka is when the game first came out, almost everyone was like, this character is good against Blanka if they can deal with his approach, particularly like the Blanka ball, because it was really difficult back then. And Manon actually does have some good answers. There is the OD spin, this will outright beat it. You got the OD rising kick or like launcher kick, this is good as well. And Manon can do like a delayed drive impact. And as you can see, this can also punish her. So she does have some options against his crazy Blanka, heavy Blanka ball stuff, right? And obviously with the rainbow ball, Manon also got like pretty good anti-airs. Crouching heavy punch is pretty good against this. You can knock him out of it. You can go for like the launcher. So it's like, alright, I guess she wins. And his buttons on the ground, I do think Manon got better buttons, right? So theoretically, in the neutral, she wins, right? That's it. But what people may not have realized in the very early days is that Blanka got the best defensive options in the game. Once you knock him down, you have to worry about OD up pull, you have to worry about electricity, parry, and once Blanka got a level 2 super, I mean, it's pretty much done for, right? He's gonna activate Wild Beast, and you have seen the setups, you know what happens, right? So I think I used to think that this is a matchup she does pretty well against, but over time, and now the Blankas have gotten more and more optimal with their level 2 and their set play in general, I think now it's even. Like, it's even at best. Luke, I'm gonna put Luke at slight disadvantage. I think Luke is one of her harder matchups, and it's definitely one of the worst matchups for her, but there are some upsides to Luke that I think makes her work. First of all, his jumping heavy punch. Her anti-air, I think, is reliable enough in this matchup that it's not as big of an issue for Manon that it is for some of the other characters. Unless I'm like really late, I can reliably anti-air him, so that's good, right? Also his Sand Blaster. This is one of the easiest fireballs to spin because the fireball is like so quick. The travel time on it is so quick. This is one of the easiest fireballs to spin kick. It's probably like the easiest fireball to spin kick in the game. Like if I'm being honest, this is the easiest fireball to spin kick, and because of that easy benefit. And obviously like in the mid range, if he does it that way and I get a perfect parry on him, right? Oh my god, it took me like 20,000 times. But yeah, like there is this option which is not bad. But what makes it difficult? Well, it's Luke, right? But what makes it kinda hard as well is, well, it's Luke. It's Luke. His normals are still absolutely absurd. His crouching heavy punch and anti-air in general DP, it's a no-go. He got an invincible reversal. He is insane on the ground. Like both of you got really good normals, but his reward is far superior to what you get. Right, like with Manon, for example, I can get like a light kick. Say I did like a light kick drive rush, right? Best thing I'm getting is this jab into back heavy punch into a middle, which in of itself is not that bad. He get a light kick. Now I'm in the corner and I got to guess for my life. And this goes for every hit. Crouching medium punch is pretty much the same, but he gets way more. Crouching medium kick, he get way more. You get the point, right? So she does have some options, but Luke just being Luke and his existence make it very, very difficult for her. Very difficult matchup. I'm putting her at slight disadvantage because she does have some options and it's not the absolute worst. But this is a hard match. This is a really hard match. Let's go for some matchups that are decent. Gief. I think Manon does fairly well against Gief because she does have good normals. In the neutral, both of these characters are kinda similar, but I do think Manon actually does have some edge. Gief is you could kinda whiff punish him, and her sweep is a pretty good whiff punish. Like say he does like a medium punch. Right? You can use this as a whiff punish against him. A lot of Giefs like doing like his charged heavy or just even raw heavy, right? And again, from whatever any range, that sweep is really good against it. Your jumping medium kick is pretty good now that he doesn't got like really good anti-cross-up tools. So he's one of these characters that you can play neutral against, and once both of you one of you knocks the other down, it's pretty much fair game. And yeah, so she out neutrals him and it's not that gimmicky of a matchup, so I think it's pretty alright. It's not huge advantage, but I think she does fairly well. Let's talk about another even matchup. Let's talk about Ryu. Ryu is somewhere between even and slight disadvantage for me, but I'm gonna put him in even. Right? Because Ryu is one of these characters that if you got a good read on his fireball, you technically can do the spin. Like it can work against him. He's one of these characters where this move can exist, and the OD version absolutely does work. Although you have to be closer, right? Because the hurt box on his Hadouken is actually not that bad. But if you're relatively close enough, like the mid-range distance here, this works, right? This can work against him, so that's good, right? And as I showed you prior, he's one of these characters where if he's blocking and I can kinda abuse him on the standing medium punch. Oh my god, stop. I can abuse him on this mix, right? I can go for like the command grab. If he reads that and is going for the Shoryuken, I have the option with drive impact. And this opens doors because now I can delay a little bit and go for like a frame trap, so that's good. Maybe he will try to parry because he knows that I got an option against his OD uppercut. So this opens up the door for like punish counter command grabs. So this is a good option against him, which might then force him to start using like drive reversals, right? And if I got him to this point, that's pretty good, right? Because then I get a punish on him as well. So you can run some offense on Ryu, right? And he got one of these uppercuts that you can bait as well, like his wake up drive reversal, his wake up his wake up Shoryuken is one of the easier ones to bait, simply because there isn't that much horizontal range. So let's save the state. right? You can actually bait this one. You can bait this one fairly easily, I will say, right? Because of its pure horizontal range, you can bait it. So there are options. The thing that makes it kind of hard though is the fact that he hits like a truck. He still does really good in the neutral. Like, he still can fireball you, he still can zone you. Yes, you do have some options against his zoning, but it's not enough to dissuade him. He can go for the short Hashogeki and bait you, right? He can absolutely use that and bait you using the OD spin, so it's something that you gotta be careful of. And his damage output like far surpasses yours, so that's why I think it's like, I'm gonna put it in even. Like, it's not so bad, but I do think it's kind of rough, right? I do think it's kind of rough. E.Honda, I think, also is matchup that she does well in. And E.Honda, it's fairly simple, right? E.Honda is a character that have a lot of approach options that he needs to rely on. Like, for example, the headbutt and obviously the butt slam. The thing about this matchup is entirely about is you getting perfect parry. You get the perfect parry, you get the punish counter command grab, that's good, right? And obviously the same goes for like his butt slam, right? I get the parry, I get the punish counter, life is good. I miss the parry, I miss the punish counter, matchup is bad, right? Now, her crouching heavy punch is actually pretty good against butt slam, actually. This is fairly reliable, so you do have an option if you just don't wanna rely solely on parries. But yeah, he wanna do that stuff. Parrying for Manon is pretty rewarding, and in the neutral I think she can handle him fairly fine, so that's why I think it's a pretty alright matchup. Jamie, I wanna be honest, unfortunately I don't got enough info on Jamie. For me, Jamie is pretty alright and even, but it's one of these matchups that I can't be confident and say that it's good or it's bad. I think it's an in-betweener. I am honestly not confident enough to give you like a fair assessment. Now, let's talk about awful matchups, because this is by far her worst matchup in the game. Juri, oh my god, is such a bad matchup. This is easily her worst matchup. This is easily Manon's worst matchup, and it's for three main reasons. The first one is this. Drive rush standing medium kick is uncheckable with Manon, right? At best, if you know it's coming, your crouching medium punch will trade, right? So you don't got an option that beat it. If you go for like standing light kick, you outright lose. See, like, even if I do it super early, my standing light kick, which is typically like the best shake with Manon, this doesn't work. What you got to do is you gotta go for a wishful parry. That's it. But obviously this opens the door for Juri to just drive rush and grab you. So her drive rush standing medium kick is very difficult for Manon to play around. It's very, very difficult. Another thing that's very difficult is simply the fireball, the low fireball, right? Because Manon doesn't got any answer, right? You can't spin this. You absolutely can't. The recovery on this fireball is actually really good, right? And so you're not getting punish counter spin. Right? You're never getting this. The OD version, like, it can work from some really close distance if you got like a really heavy read, but it's not reliable at all, right? And if she got the fireball on deck, her drive rush is again something that you gotta deal with. So if you let her have distance, it's hard because she get to store up and she gets to fireball and then approach you. If you're fighting her from up close, kind of like here, her normals like crouching medium punch, standing heavy kick, crouching medium kick, all of this are far more rewarding than yours, right? Now, if all of this wasn't bad enough, once she activates that level 2 super, this is pretty much GG's. Because you don't got anything, obviously your character that doesn't got an invincible reversal, so it's very, 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 very difficult to play around her level 2 super. At this point, it's GG's. So fireball's very difficult to play around. Simply her doing this, for example, is so hard for Manon. because you gotta like parry the fireball, and that's pretty much it. That is your only option. You can heavy kick. Like one thing I do want to show is that from some ranges you can heavy kick her out of the fireball. Right, you can get this, but because of the trade, you don't get actually like you don't actually get follow-ups. See, I don't get a follow-up combo, so very hard to deal with. Just a very hard matchup to deal with. And like for how common Juri is, this makes life kind of hard. Chun-Li is also one of these characters where it's like send help, and it's just for the same reason. Chun-Li is like a mix of Guile and Juri. It's also a charge fireball with really good timing. Now, she does have the easiest fireball to spin. So this one I think is the easiest one to spin. This is the one that spinning can actually work against her from some distances. Getting the spin kick is difficult, but getting the OD spin I think can work. Right, you can kinda decently reliably get the spin kick. That's a different story. Yeah, you're not gonna get it. You're not gonna be able to do like the spin kick and spin her fireball because it's such a slow moving projectile. You kinda have to commit to the OD version. So I mean, I guess that's it, right? But it's pretty much more of the same. It's fireball, drive rush, and characters forcing you into guessing situations, and it's pretty much like perfect parry the fireball or you lose the matchup. And obviously Chun-Li, her anti-airs are like potentially even more rewarding because you happen to jump over her, or let's say you jump at her. She does like heavy kick you, now you're eating a ton of damage, so this is just an absolutely horrendous matchup, as you would expect. Like as you would expect, this one is really bad. And obviously, all of her supers are invincible on wake up, and yeah, it's kind of rough. Chun-Li is kind of rough. Again, it's like these three characters are all really bad for very similar reasons. Now, let's not be as negative. Talk about Cammy. Cammy, I think Manon does fine against. I think it's a matchup that maybe is like actually slight disadvantage, but I do think the fact that Manon got the OD launcher, this is actually a fairly good answer to her dive kicks. So if you know it's coming, you do have an option. And in the neutral, I do think Manon holds her own fairly well. Like, you got the buttons to play around against Cammy, and you got the anti-airs to deal with Cammy. What's left is guessing right on situations, but in the neutral, I think she hangs, and when it comes to like stopping the air approach, you do have some options that could be fairly rewarding, right? So I think that's there. Lily, I gotta be honest, another one of these characters that I very rarely fight, so I'm not gonna comment on. You see Lily once every blue moon, so I think it's rough. It's rough because you typically don't know the matchup, right? You don't know the matchup, and then you get your ass kicked. Maybe with some more matchup experience, I can give you like a better assessment on it, but I gotta be honest, haven't played it that much to give you like a real fair assessment. Complete transparency here, right? Ken is in the same vein as Luke. Pretty much another matchup where you have to worry about the Shoto tools being super strong. Obviously, you gotta worry about crouching medium kick, drive rush. Very powerful tool, and then you like get knocked down in the corner and you gotta guess for your life. One thing about Ken that's actually kind of funny is, despite his DP actually being one of these DPs with a ton of hits, this is one of the ones where you actually can go for like the medium punch into the drive impact. No, I don't want any delay. But you get him in this spinning state, Ariel said, but it can work against him, right? Something that's actually good that is there, right? So it's a mix-up that exists on him, so that's good. And obviously, if he's trying to like fireball drive rush, this is difficult, but you do have some answers. Like if he's committed to that, like you can guess here on like a head grab, a heavy head grab, that works out fairly more than you would realize, right? Simply because Kim players love doing this from range. So this actually can work against him, but it's a read. It's a heavy read, obviously, right? And in the neutral, he got one of the fireballs, which are obviously like you can spin. These are fireballs that like OD spin are very good against, and regular spin can even work if he is spacing them wrong. So that is good. But you gotta worry about Dragon Lash, which obviously is not very good against you. He got the Junroy. Now, one thing about Chun-Li that's interesting with Ken is that Manon actually got like a surprisingly long-reaching standing light kick. So this is like medium Chun-Li, and this is like light Chun-Li into the follow-up, right? One good thing about Manon is that her standing light kick reaches more than you would expect. So this is actually a decent punish against them. See, like it punishes it from further than the average character, so that's good, right? And obviously if he does a low variant, I didn't look low. I actually didn't look low. Right, so yeah, that's not too bad. You do have some answers. That's pretty alright, but it's Ken. Right, you're losing as a neutral. You gotta worry about Dragon Lash. His corner carry is tremendous. Once you're in the corner, you gotta guess for your life. You don't got a reversal. So it's very much for the same reasons that actually Rashid is a difficult matchup, right? Rashid, I don't know, man. Rashid is somewhere between even and slight disadvantage. If there is like a tier between both of these two, I would put Rashid and Ryu. Let's actually put it. I think there is this tier right here where let's call it even on a good day, because these are matchups where I think on a good day they are even, but it's Rashid, man. It's still Rashid. Like Rashid can just start the round against you, which is like total bullshit, by the way. Rashid can start the round against you, activate this, and there's nothing you can do about it, right? Sure, if he's playing neutral, like going for like heavy kicks and all of that, you can get whiff punishes on him. He's fairly whiff punishable. Sweep is pretty good in this matchup, and once you get it, you get a hard knockdown, so that's good. So you do have some options. If he's going for like a lot of Rashid players, I don't know the knockdown specifically. Let's not remember bulk. Right? They go for like this sort of like wake up whirlwind, right? They like doing this a lot. But this is like a free level 2 super for Manon. It's easy, but I don't guess that's like such a big deal actually. But it's an option. His anti-airs, they're kind of finicky. So that I guess you can, like, one of the characters you can jump in on from some angles. It can be hard for him to anti-air. Now, unfortunately, if you're going for the on-block mix, you can't bait his spinning mixer. Like, you can't DI that. It's gonna break your armor, right? And he doesn't get a good knockdown, and you don't get anything, so it's whatever. But if you're going for like command grab and he's doing like wake up mixer, let's make him do wake up OD mixer. Let's save the state. You can bait it like that, so you can bait it after a command grab, but not in the standing medium bunch drive rush situation. So. And that's okay. I guess it's okay. If you're lucky, if you're guessing really well on defense, Rashid is fine. But he's still Rashid. His rush down is extremely oppressive, and you gotta deal with it. Aki is, I think, even. Her offensive flowchart is very good, very, very powerful, but as well, she doesn't have like amazing defenses, so you can absolutely play around and abuse her defensive options. Also, one of your main moves, like that, the heavy kick ballerina, the overhead, I think this is really difficult for her to punish. Like, even from distances where it's kind of like this, it's hard for her to punish, right? If she's going for, let's say sometimes she's doing like crouching medium punch, let her try standing medium punch. Right? It's pretty easy to space this against her, but obviously you gotta worry about her doing drive impact and all that, because this move can be baited with drive impact. Like you have to be really close to be punishable with this, but if you're in from like the mid range, this will be safe-ish against Aki. So that's actually fairly good in this matchup, right? But she does have the dreaded Fireball Drive Rush combo, so this is the difficult part of the matchup. But she does have like one fixed timing, so I guess that can help. But it's still fairly difficult. And just like Ken, like if you're very if you're willing to go for the hard read, you can only spin, and there is little she can do, right? But spin kick doesn't work against her. This is something I want to say. The spin kick doesn't work against Aki because of the speed of the fireball. You're typically gonna be hit outfit. So I guess it's even. And I guess I would put Ed on slight disadvantage. I think Ed's also one of these characters that can be fairly difficult. He got his flickers, which can be hard to play around, to be honest, because they are considered like projectiles, right? So the good thing here is spinning actually works. So if I see him in startup, oh my god, see this? Like it's almost very difficult to react to. If he's like holding it, if he's doing this, then you can spin. That works, but obviously the threat is he can do this and then like backdash, and you see him charging, you're like, oh, I'm gonna spin, and you get punished, right? So it's not a guaranteed thing whatsoever, right? It's never guaranteed against him, right? His anti-airs are kind of slow, so you can play the jump game. That's pretty decent against him. You can try to abuse the overhead, which also kind of works. But he just controls the neutral, man. Like that standing medium kick is so hard, crouching heavy kick is so hard, and his standing heavy punch is hard to play around. He can start to annoy you with fireballs. And his like neutral jump medium kick, this is pretty difficult to play against. You do have an option, which is like the slide. From some ranges this can work, but he can like empty jump and then land and punish you, so it's on the harder side. It certainly is on the harder side. So that's about it. I think my view on Manon isn't as bleak as maybe some of the others. I think she does fairly well against some important characters like Cammy, Marisa, and Deejay. But obviously, take a look at the bad matchups. Juri, Chun-Li, Luke, Ken. They're all very meta, very relevant characters. I would love to hear your thoughts about all of this. Do you think Manon is gonna be buffed in the next batch? Do you think she will finally be like a really strong character? Or are we doomed to mediocrity? I would love to hear your thoughts about all of this in the comment section below. Let me know if you disagree with anything on this list. I would love to hear it. Thank you so much for watching and stay safe.